whether you are just getting started in your security or IT career, or you've been doing this job for quite a long time, one thing is that you are going to able to need to do and manage the remote machine in your work. So here's what I mean by that is, if you want to connect to a remote computer, and it doesn't matter if it is Linux or Windows, they both have these similar capabilities. So if you want to connect to that remote machine and execute commands on the remote machine to do the things and the remote machine, so you need to do some certain way. Now this may not have anything to do with cryptography, but as you are doing on the remote machine, this could be something like a ordinary management or configuration tools. The key here is though I can do it and I have to do it in securely, so I don't anyone to sniff around in the middle of the task. So what commands I am in thing that I am writing in the remote machine, so it can be done in securely. So one of the ways we can do is on the Linux based system, and you can also use the same thing on the Windows system as well. So it is a called SSH or Secure Shell. So as a what is this a program is basically what provides secure remote control command and execution, then file transfer from your machine to a remote machine. And what you do is the uses of the basic command. You can do like man SSH to see more about this, but if you SSH and you give it to a remote machine, what on the machine is your username at that machine name, then you will be prompt you to use your password, then you will have to gain the access of the machine. So if you run an ls command and that command is running on that remote machine, and it will be done securely, so no one can sniff around middle of your work. So we have a secure protocol for SSH to make sure that nobody is sniffing in the middle. Now this is a replacement for the older utilities. You may hear people talked about like using telnet and some other logins. So the other older utilities that they used, and now they replace it with SSH on Linux and EO. So it is a very common way to manage the remote machine and access remote machine for a variety of reasons. In fact, one of the most common thing you will hear from both the Linux guys and the Unix guys are, let's SSH to the box and do something to it. Now one of the things is, while you can get the program to offer the SSH capabilities on Windows, Windows has its own application to run this. So Windows has this own built-in management tool called PowerShell, and PowerShell has a part of is called PowerShell remoting, and that's similar to the SSH. It works a little bit differently, but it gives you the same kind of concept where if you enter a command or ls session for a computer name, it can send a different credential for authentication. So if I want or is going to use the credential, then I can directly have my machine and it will connect to the remote machine. Then after that you can just execute commands from the remote machine to do whatever you do. The important part to this is that you will be working in sort of shell, whether it's a bash based shell or something like that, or like in Windows PowerShell, you are going to need to be able to connect to it in remotely. So the important thing is that it's all done securely and nobody can sniff around what you are doing and what things you are executing. So that's what SSH does to primarily on Linux, and PowerShell remoting does on Windows.